The power of taking the third door to extraordinary success. What if I told you there's a secret entrance to success that most people never discover? Imagine standing outside life's nightclub. Most people wait in the first door line, the main entrance where everyone queues up, hoping for their turn. Others use their wealth or connections to access the second door, the VIP entrance. But what about the third door? That hidden entrance around back, through the kitchen, down the hallway, past the dumpster. The door that requires creativity, hustle, and unwavering determination to find. This is the story of 18-year-old Alex Banayan, who embarked on an impossible 7-year quest to uncover how the world's most successful people launched their careers. What began as a wild mission to interview Bill Gates evolved into a life-changing adventure that would redefine everything he thought he knew about success. Introduction: The Boy Who Hacked the Price is Right. Alex Banayan never planned to write this book. As the son of Persian immigrants, his future was predetermined: become a doctor. But during his freshman year at USC, Alex found himself in an existential crisis. Medical school felt like someone else's dream, not his. Desperate for answers, he impulsively purchased a book about Bill Gates, hoping to discover how successful people actually launched their careers. That night, a question struck him. What if he could interview Bill Gates himself? And not just Gates. What if he could talk to Lady Gaga, Maya Angelou, Steve Wozniak, Jane Goodall, Larry King, and dozens of the world's most successful people to uncover the secrets of how they broke through? There was just one problem. Alex was a broke college student with no connections, no credibility, and no way to fund this seemingly impossible mission. This is where the concept of the third door was born. Alex explains it perfectly. Life, business, success. It's just like a nightclub. There are always 3 ways in. The first door, where 99% of people wait in line, hoping to get in. The second door, where the billionaires, celebrities, and the fortunate VIPs slip through. And the third door, the entrance where you have to jump out of line, run down the alley, bang on the door 100 times, crack open the window, sneak through the kitchen. There's always a way. But how would Alex fund this quest? In a moment of desperation, or perhaps inspiration, he formulated an outrageous plan. He would hack his way onto The Price is Right, win the showcase, sell the prizes, and use the money to fund his adventure. Against all odds, it worked. Alex won a sailboat, sold it, and suddenly had the seed money to begin his seemingly impossible journey. Little did he know that winning the game show would be the easiest part of his quest. The wild quest begins breaking through to Bill Gates. With his newly acquired funds from selling The Price is Right sailboat, Alex set his sights on the ultimate interview, Bill Gates. But how does a 19-year-old college student with 0 connections reach one of the world's richest and most inaccessible people? Alex's journey to Gates began with a critical lesson that would shape his entire quest: the power of mentorship. Through a lucky connection, Alex met Elliot Bisnow, a young entrepreneur who had created a network of successful business leaders. Upon hearing Alex's ambitious plan, Elliot didn't dismiss it as impossible. Instead, he became Alex's first mentor. Find the impossible before someone else tells you it's impossible, Elliot advised him. Elliot taught Alex the concept of going direct, bypassing gatekeepers and finding creative ways to reach decision-makers. He also introduced Alex to the idea of sending the elevator back down. Successful people helping those on their way up, the same way someone once helped them. Armed with this mindset, Alex pursued Gates with relentless determination. He discovered Gates's personal email through elaborate research and networking, but his messages went unanswered. He tried reaching out to Gates's chief of staff, his foundation, his friends, all dead ends. After months of rejections, Alex had an epiphany. What if he could get to Bill Gates through Warren Buffett, Gates's closest friend? Alex discovered that Gates would be attending a particular event where Buffett was speaking. With no invitation and no press credentials, Alex sneaked into the event through, what else? The third door. He pretended to be a journalist, bluffed his way past security, and positioned himself in Gates's path. When the moment came, Alex approached Gates directly, introduced himself with authentic passion, and asked for an interview. To his amazement, Gates agreed, instructing him to contact his office. This breakthrough taught Alex his first major lesson. Persistence isn't just about knocking on the same door repeatedly. It's about finding every possible door, window, and crack in the wall until you find your way in. But just as Alex celebrated this win, he received devastating news. Gates's team had no record of their encounter and denied his interview request. Alex was back to square one, but now with a crucial understanding. The path to success is never a straight line. The Tim Ferriss shortcut, the art of decoding. Success facing rejection from Gates, Alex pivoted to a new strategy. He sought out Tim Ferriss, author of The 4-Hour Workweek and master of deconstructing success. If Alex couldn't immediately access the world's most successful people, perhaps he could learn how to decode their methods. Meeting Ferriss wasn't easy. Alex used his third door mindset to track down Ferriss's speaking engagements, waited hours after an event, and finally got 5 minutes of Ferriss's time. In that brief conversation, Ferriss shared advice that would transform Alex's approach. Focus on going deep with a few people rather than getting superficial advice from many. Ferriss told him, study someone's path in extreme detail. That's where the real lessons are. Ferriss also taught Alex a counterintuitive approach to networking. Don't network. Focus on becoming the best at what you do. If you're the best, people will come to you. More importantly, Ferriss introduced Alex to the concept of modeling, the process of identifying the specific actions, mindsets, and strategies that successful people used at the beginning of their careers, not just what they do now. This shifted Alex's entire approach from seeking generic advice to uncovering the precise third doors his subjects had taken. Armed with this new framework, Alex refined his interview techniques and set his sights on his next impossible target, legendary music producer Quincy Jones. The Spielberg shortcut, finding hidden doors through strategic persistence. While pursuing Quincy Jones, Alex discovered the story of how Steven Spielberg launched his career, a perfect example of the third door in action. As a college student, Spielberg had snuck onto the Universal Studios lot every day for 3 months, finding an abandoned janitor's closet to use as his unofficial office. He dressed in a suit, carried a briefcase, and walked confidently past security until people assumed he belonged there. Inspired by Spielberg's audacity, Alex applied similar principles to reach Quincy Jones. After countless rejections from Jones's gatekeepers, Alex discovered that Jones frequented a specific jazz club. Night after night, Alex waited there, finally encountering Jones and securing an interview by demonstrating his genuine passion and persistence. The interview with Jones yielded a crucial insight. The secret to success is this: there is no secret, Jones told him. It's all about fundamentals, preparation, hard work, and perseverance. Jones shared how he'd gotten his start by sneaking into clubs as a teenager to play with jazz legends, even when he wasn't ready. If you're not making mistakes, you're not growing, Jones explained. I just refused to accept no for an answer. This philosophy mirrored what Alex was learning on his own journey. Every successful person had found their own third door, their unconventional path, when the traditional routes weren't available to them. Alex's pursuit of Jones also taught him a painful lesson. After successfully connecting with Jones, Alex became overconfident and neglected to follow up properly, ultimately losing the relationship he'd worked so hard to build. This taught him that the third door isn't just about getting in. It's about what you do once you're inside. The Lady Gaga principle, transforming rejection into opportunity. Alex's next target was Lady Gaga, whose meteoric rise fascinated him. What was her third door? How had she transformed from struggling artist Stefani Germanotta to global superstar? After months of dead ends, Alex finally connected with Lady Gaga's former manager, Troy Carter. The story Troy shared revealed a powerful principle. Gaga's success came not from avoiding rejection, but from leveraging it. Troy explained how Gaga had been signed and then dropped by Def Jam Records early in her career, a devastating setback that would have ended many artists' ambitions. Instead of giving up, Gaga used this rejection as fuel. She worked the underground club scene relentlessly, building a passionate fan base one performance at a time. When mainstream acceptance wasn't available, she created her own path. Rejection isn't failure, Troy told Alex. Rejection is just redirection. Troy also shared how Gaga differentiated herself through extreme commitment to her craft and artistic vision. When others were working 8 hours, she worked 16. When others zigged, she zagged. She didn't just want success. She prepared for it with maniacal focus, studying pop culture history and reinventing herself constantly. The Lady Gaga principle, as Alex came to call it, was about transforming rejection into opportunity and preparing for success long before it arrives. It taught him that the third door isn't just about being clever or resourceful. It's about having the resilience to keep going when every door seems to slam in your face. This lesson came at a crucial time for Alex, who was facing his own mounting rejections. His quest had stretched from months into years, his funds were dwindling, and many of his top targets, including Bill Gates, remained elusive. Was he wasting his time on an impossible dream? The Warren Buffett paradox: when to persist and when to pivot. As Alex's quest continued, he faced increasing self-doubt. He'd spent years pursuing these interviews, but was he any closer to uncovering the real secrets of success? His funds were running low, and he was failing classes at USC as he prioritized his mission over his education. This crisis led him to study Warren Buffett's early career, revealing what Alex called the Warren Buffett paradox. Early in his career, Buffett had idolized and persistently pursued his hero, Benjamin Graham, hoping to work for him. After multiple rejections, Buffett finally landed a job with Graham, only to discover that working for his hero wasn't what he expected. This taught Buffett a crucial lesson. Sometimes the path you're pursuing isn't actually the best path for you. Alex realized he was facing his own version of this paradox. He had been so fixated on getting specific interviews that he'd lost sight of the bigger mission, uncovering the principles behind successful career launches. This insight prompted Alex to expand his approach. Instead of just chasing A-list celebrities, he began interviewing a wider range of successful people, including Pitbull, who shared how he'd built his music career by personally distributing 20,000 mixtapes through the streets of Miami. Jessica Alba, who described how she'd transformed rejection from traditional Hollywood roles into motivation to build her billion-dollar honest company. Sugar Ray Leonard, who explained how visualizing success before achieving it had been critical to his boxing career. Maya Angelou, who told Alex, "Courage is the most important virtue, because without it, you cannot practice any other virtue consistently." Each interview reinforced that success wasn't about a single lucky break or knowing the right people. It was about consistently finding third doors when conventional paths were blocked. Through these conversations, Alex discovered a common pattern. Successful people faced just as much rejection, failure, and self-doubt as anyone else. The difference was how they responded to these challenges, by pivoting, persisting, or sometimes walking away to find a better door. The Larry King Cold Call, The Power of Authentic Curiosity. One of Alex's most enlightening interviews came from an unexpected source. Larry King. While King wasn't originally on Alex's list, a chance encounter led to one of the most important lessons of his journey. After countless attempts to reach King through conventional channels failed, Alex resorted to a simple but terrifying approach. He cold-called King's home at 2 a.m. To his shock, King himself answered. Instead of hanging up, King was intrigued by Alex's audacity and sincerity. "Kid, you've got 30 seconds, King said. Alex explained his mission with such authentic passion that King not only agreed to an interview, but invited Alex to his home the very next day. During their conversation, King revealed how he had gotten his own start through a similar act of boldness. As a young man with no experience, King had walked into a Miami radio station and convinced the manager to give him a chance, simply because of his genuine enthusiasm and willingness to do whatever it took. King shared his secret to successful interviewing: the power of genuine curiosity. "The less you know, the better," King explained. "Curiosity and listening are more powerful than knowledge." This revelation transformed Alex's approach. He stopped trying to impress his interviewees with clever questions and instead embraced his role as a genuine learner. His interviews improved dramatically as a result. The meeting with King also taught Alex an unexpected lesson about preparation. While meticulous research had its place, sometimes the best approach was simply showing up with an open mind and authentic curiosity. This calculated naivety, as Alex came to call it, allowed him to ask questions others might consider too basic, often leading to the most profound insights. The 18-minute trap: overcoming the hidden barriers to success. As Alex's journey progressed, he encountered what he calls the 18-minute trap, the hidden mental barriers that prevent people from achieving breakthrough success. This concept came from his interview with Elliot Bisnow, who shared a story about training for a marathon. During his longest training run, Elliot hit a wall at exactly 18 minutes. He felt he couldn't go any further. His coach pushed him to continue for just 5 more minutes. Elliot did, and suddenly found his second wind, ultimately completing the entire run. Most people quit right when things get tough, Elliot explained. But if you push just a little beyond that point, beyond your 18-minute mark, that's where the breakthrough happens. Alex realized this principle applied to his entire quest. Every major breakthrough had come after facing a significant obstacle, an 18-minute mark where most people would quit. When Alex couldn't reach Bill Gates directly, he found a third door through an event. When Quincy Jones's team repeatedly rejected him, he discovered Jones's favorite jazz club. When traditional networking failed, he cold-called Larry King at 2 a.m. But the 18-minute trap wasn't just about external obstacles. It was also about internal barriers. Through his interviews, Alex discovered that successful people had developed specific mindsets to push through their own 18-minute marks. Bill Gates practiced going small, breaking impossible goals into manageable steps. Maya Angelou embraced the courage habit, building bravery through small daily acts. Lady Gaga used rejection redirection, transforming setbacks into new opportunities. These strategies helped Alex push through his own 18-minute marks, especially as his quest stretched from months into years and his resources dwindled. The Holy Grail, finally, reaching Bill Gates. As Alex's journey entered its 5th year, he had interviewed dozens of remarkable people and uncovered countless insights about success. But his original goal, interviewing Bill Gates, remained elusive. Despite multiple near misses and countless rejections, Alex refused to give up. He had come too far and learned too much to abandon his ultimate target. Drawing on everything he'd learned about third-door thinking, Alex crafted one final, audacious approach. Through intense research, Alex discovered that Gates would be speaking at a specific event. Using what he'd learned about going direct, Alex bypassed the usual gatekeepers and reached out to the event organizer directly. He shared his 5-year journey with such authentic passion that the organizer, moved by Alex's persistence, agreed to help. When the day arrived, Alex was finally ushered into a room with Bill Gates. The meeting lasted only 30 minutes, but it represented the culmination of Alex's impossible quest. Gates shared how he'd found his own third door as a teenager, calling computer companies to offer his programming services and boldly cold-calling the founders of MITS to demonstrate his basic interpreter before he'd even written it. Most people overestimate what they can do in a year, Gates told Alex, and underestimate what they can do in a decade. This insight resonated deeply with Alex, whose quick project had evolved into a 7-year odyssey. Gates explained that success isn't about a single brilliant idea or one lucky break. It's about sustained effort and continual innovation over time. Gates also revealed his method for handling seemingly insurmountable challenges. I break down every problem into smaller pieces until each one is manageable. Nothing is too complex when you divide it enough. The interview with Gates provided a perfect bookend to Alex's journey. He had set out to learn how successful people launch their careers, only to discover that the very act of pursuing this question had taught him more than any single answer could. The final door. What Alex really discovered about success. After 7 years, thousands of miles traveled, and dozens of interviews, Alex's quest came to an end. But the most profound lessons weren't just in the advice he'd received. They were in the journey itself. Throughout his adventure, Alex had transformed from an insecure college freshman into a resilient, resourceful adult. The third door wasn't just a concept he was investigating. It was a mindset he was living. Here are the 5 most powerful insights Alex discovered about how successful people launch their careers. 1. The third door always exists. Every successful person Alex interviewed, from Bill Gates to Lady Gaga, from Warren Buffett to Sugar Ray Leonard, had found their own third door. When conventional paths were blocked, they created their own entrances through creativity, persistence, and unconventional thinking. There's always a way in, if you're willing to look where others don't. 2. Rejection is redirection. The most successful people don't avoid rejection. They use it as fuel. When Lady Gaga was dropped from her first record label, she doubled down on building her fan base. When Bill Gates' first business failed, he pivoted to what would become Microsoft. Rejection doesn't mean you're on the wrong path. It often means you need to find a different door. 3. Mentorship is multiplying. Nearly every success story included a mentor who accelerated growth. But Alex discovered that mentorship isn't about finding a single guru. It's about creating a personal board of advisors who can guide different aspects of your journey. And the best way to attract mentors isn't by asking for help, but by bringing value first. 4. Success is sequential, not simultaneous. The overnight success is a myth. Even the most meteoric rises, from Lady Gaga to Instagram, involved years of preparation and smaller wins before the breakthrough moment. Success comes from stacking small victories until they reach a tipping point. 5. Courage is a muscle. The ability to take risks, face rejection, and persist through failure isn't innate. It's developed through practice. From Maya Angelou to Larry King, every successful person described moments when they had to act despite fear. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the habit of acting despite it. As Alex reflected on his journey, he realized that the third door isn't just about achieving success. It's about who you become in the process. The greatest reward wasn't reaching Bill Gates or publishing a best-selling book. It was developing the resilience, creativity, and courage to find third doors in every area of life.